Welcome back to Ocala Talks, hour number 3. We're very proud to have a new partner with WOCA in the building with us. It's Kathy Johnson, a sales associate with Tranzon Driggers. Tranzon is a better way to real estate. And really, it's a unique way to real estate that I had not heard of, Kathy. So good morning to you.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You know, right now, because my wife and I are in the process of putting our house on the market and looking for a house and everything, when I told my wife about this, she goes, well, we already have a commitment with a real estate agent and everything, who is family, so I would die if we didn't go with her. But anyway, but this is really, when I saw this, to me, I was like, why hasn't all real estate gone this way? Because when I have a Dale Gallen painting. If I wanted to sell that painting, I wouldn't put a sign up in my front yard saying, hey, I got a nice painting to do here. I'd go to Sotheby's or somebody like that and say, here's my reserve price, make it happen.
Absolutely.
And you guys are doing that in the real estate business.
Yeah, the most valuable assets are sold by auction.
Yes.
Why not your home?
I mean, Mika makes a lot of money selling cars by auction.
Right.
You know, Sotheby's is a pretty good place, and it's an auction house.
Right.
I mean, Daniel and Frank Gray, who I know real well, the Gray family,
yes,
they run a very successful auction in Anthony, you know. So tell people what this concept is, what Tranzon Driggers actually does and the concept, because we kind of gave it away, jumped the shark, but tell people what actually it is.
Well, so Tranzon, we want you to think about Tranzon when you think about selling your real estate, just like you think about those other auction firms when you think about art or cars or whatever. Tranzon is the largest, or one of the largest, auction firms specializing in the disposition of real estate and other assets. We sell real estate in the shortest amount of time at the highest possible price. We have 30 offices nationwide, so whether you're here in Florida and you have property to sell in Maine, we can help you with that.
Here's what, because I'm in the process now of looking at homes and everything, we have this one home that's on our radar. It's been on the market since January.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's had a price decrease 3 different times, but then the price increased once and back down. And the whole process, if I was the seller of that home, I'd be so frustrated now that my house is set on the market for 8 months and it's still not selling, and I'm not living in it. We drove by the house, we looked at it, it's a vacant house.
Yeah.
And the sellers are trying to do it. This, when you say a quicker way, because what's the average from the point of where you put your house on the market to you sell your house, you go to closing and everything. Sometimes that's 45, 60 days, up to 90 days, sometimes even longer.
Yeah, well, it depends on the traditional market, how they do things. We work on a 4 to 6 week schedule. So when you list your property, it's 4 to 6 weeks before we go to auction, and then it's a standard time for closing, so 30 to 45 days.
Right, and when we say auction, we're not talking about people standing out in the front yard with a sign going.
Well, we can do that.
I know, you can do that.
We could do that. But no, most auctions now, most of our auctions are done online, and that allows for more participation across the country and throughout the world, frankly.
Okay, Kathy, but look, you can't, you know, if my house, I want to put it on the market for, you know, not my house. I'm just saying in general. I want to put my house on the market for $450,000. I mean, I think it's worth $450,000. But your auction, somebody come to the auction, they bid $275,000. They just bought my house for $200,000 less than I wanted to sell it for.
Yeah.
Does that happen, or is there? Because I would think the auction price. Because sometimes we get a deflated price, sometimes we get an inflated price. I would think the auction price is probably as close to the accurate price as a property's worth.
That's correct. We find the market.
Right, you find the market.
We find the market.
You don't try to create the market. You find the market.
That's correct. We find the market, and you know, we'll work with you from the listing standpoint in a strategy, and make a determination. And maybe we're not your solution. But we also cooperate with brokers. So that's another thing, too. We're not competition for brokers.
Right.
We work with them. So if there is a property that is sitting on the market for a long time, we can help that broker move that.
Well,
property.
that leads me to this question. How can I get the maximum amount of my money out of my house in the shortest amount of time?
Well, we will create for you with our proprietary marketing system a strategy that will get the word out about your property.
Right. So now what's the, real estate agents will tell you, I've sold this many. When they come to try to talk you into listing with them, here's why you need to list for me. I've sold this many properties and I've made people this much money and I've gotten the value of this home and everything. Mm-hmm. What is it about Tranzon Driggers, your success rate? Do you have an impressive success rate? Tell us about that, because, real estate agents will tell you how successful they are.
Yeah. We do have an impressive success rate. In my opinion, 96%. So that means that we listed the property, it went to auction, it sold to auction, and it closed within a short amount of time.
And the owners were satisfied.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the key.
That's the key.
Selling the house, getting to the closing, that's all great.
Yeah.
But the owners are happy with the outcome at the same time.
That's right. We can't guarantee
No.
pricing, but we're going to tell you what the market says.
Well, and that's the thing, like this house that we're looking at. Obviously, they've had 4 brokers working on this house.
Mm-hmm.
There's 4 different brokers that have registered this house since January.
Yeah.
And they still have no movement on this house. And
Yeah,
by
that
the way,
broker needs to call me.
By the way, this house it's a lakefront property with a boat dock and everything on one of the nicest lakes in the Lakeland, Winter Haven area.
Okay.
Sits on a over 1,000-acre lake. It's a big lake and everything. Yeah. Sits right, and it's priced what I would think when I'm looking at other things in the area. It's priced right in a good range.
Yeah.
And yet it just sits there.
Yeah, I'd like to know. To know
Just
what that
there.
is, so I could see, see what's the issue there.
Right. And so our real estate agent who we're using is getting into all that too. But that's where a plan, an active plan, and a good plan will stop the house that sits on the market for 8 or 10 months. We looked at one house over in Webster. Because you go on Realtor.com and you can see all this.
Sure.
It's been on the market 491 days.
Yeah.
Are you selling the house?
You wonder what's going on there.
Are you using it as a walk-through museum? What are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing there?
Right.
So now, do you have? We got you in here. You're a new partner with the radio station.
Yes.
You got any announcements you want to fill me in on?
I would like to tell you some things.
Okay.
A couple of things. So first, we have a new property that we just listed in Crystal Lakes. That's in the Silver Spring Shores area. Go to our website, tranzondriggers.com or tranzon.com/DG1368. That'll take you directly to that property page. And also, we have a sales event coming up. And so in the sales event, all of the Tranzon offices nationwide work together to market your property. So the dates of the event are October 16th through the 18th. And the deadline to participate is September 18th. So folks need to give us a call and get signed up so that we can get you into that program. That extends your marketing reach exponentially. So we're looking forward to that event.
Well, as we wrap this up, is there besides, we know tranzondriggers.com, how can people other than that get in touch with you or come see you or reach out to you?
Yeah, so they can give me a call. My office number is 352-369-1047. Either myself or a member of our team will take your call. And then also we're located locally. We're downtown in the 101 building, and that's on Silver Springs Boulevard and First Avenue in Suite 206. I would recommend that you call first because I could be in the field.
Being busy.
I'll be in the field, yeah. But stop by and see us.
TranzonDriggers.com. Been talking with Kathy Johnson, the sales associate at Tranzon Driggers. Thanks so much for being here and being a partner with WOCA.
Thank you.
We'll be back after this time.